LDBC. This is your boy Coach Shelton Harrison. You're live on the Coach Shelton Harrison Boxing and MMA Show live. Okay, guys, I want to talk to y'all tonight about favor and forgiveness. Favor and forgiveness. I'm gonna tell y'all something, y'all. And I always use the word karma. I always talk about karma. I talk a lot about karma and what it is and how it can affect you having favor. Now, what is favor? Favor is something that you get that's completely unexpected because of you being righteous. That's what favor is, okay? Now, folks, for years, and I've told this story before, but for years I used to have a problem with unforgiveness. I wouldn't forgive people. And I used to always wonder, man. I used to wonder every day why just things in life just never was going good. Things never wouldn't go good. Okay, every time I tried something, it just failed. This was a point in life where there were about 10 or 15 people that I just couldn't forgive. And they did stuff to me in the past, I just would not forgive them. And, and one of those people happened to be my own father. I just didn't forgive him. And we got our reasons. We've since then hashed everything out years ago. But I'm going to tell you a point in time that, things will happen to you if you have a lot of unforgiveness. And I'm going to tell you something. You limit the amount of favor that you get based on the amount of unforgiveness that you have in your life. And there are a lot of even people online. Hell, it's probably even some of you that's listening to this video right now. You know somebody, one person, 5 people, 10 people, 20 people that you just can't forgive. Unforgiveness. I remember I always talked to y'all about the sprint coach, man, that he was a phenomenal sprint coach, but this man was living with a lot of unforgiveness. This man couldn't forgive people. A brilliant study. But his unforgiveness cost him his life. You see, unforgiveness will kill you. That hatred and unforgiveness, that stuff will kill you, and it will stop your favor. See, years ago, man, I hated about 15 or so people, and I didn't understand what forgiveness was. I didn't understand. You see, when you're sitting with that unforgiveness, man, that stuff is like a poison, and it poisons your system. And I used to almost taste it, man. I get mad and I'd be pissed off at somebody, man, and stay that way and wouldn't forgive them. And I could taste the poison, seeping down into my stomach. You can feel it, man. That unforgiveness, man, I'm telling you, that thing is a death trap for you. And I couldn't forgive. And so back in 2005, I found myself sitting in a hospital. And, I was sitting back and, when you really, you feel like you're about to die, you begin to start thinking about, you do an account for your life, and you start thinking about all the dumb stuff that you did to waste time and things that you would have did if you'd have had this and that. And I started thinking about that. I started thinking about just things in my life that I never did. Okay, and I figured out I spent most of my life not forgiving people for things, okay? Just for things that they did, things that they said. I didn't forgive. I wouldn't forgive. And I'm telling you, man, my life, it was in turmoil. I mean, things never worked. I was miserable. And folks, let me tell you something. If you're running around here and you got hate, you got unforgiveness, you got any of that stuff in your system, I'm telling you right now, you're setting yourself up to die. Folks, that's what's going to happen. But anyway, let me get back to this track coach. This guy has so much unforgiveness, man. It was crazy. But you know what happened, man? The guy got a case because he always used to tell me, you know what, man, I got these ulcers in my stomach. And I told him, I said, man, you gotta let some of that anger and hostility go. You gotta let that stuff go, man. That stuff will kill you. Oh, it ain't nothing but ulcers, man. I'll take a couple of, pills and it'll heal them. I said, man, that's unforgiveness. I used to tell him because he always used to get upset, man. Every time, we'd be at a track meet, man, I have to pull him off of somebody. I have to pull him back. Because he was always getting into it. Well, I don't like that dude. I can't stand him. Why? Well, because he said his athletes are better than mine. I mean, see, people, can you guys really hear the logic and the stupidity? And I don't want to dishonor him while he did. But, can you guys see the logic behind something so simple? That you can honestly, with something that simple, you can really just literally talk it out with a person with that being simple? Now, I'm not saying every single thing that happens you can talk it out and then it's simple. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying, for simple things, he would dislike people. And there was about 30 people that I knew that this dude disliked. And I said, dude, It's a lot. You got a lot of hatred. You got a lot of unforgiveness. I said, man, you got to let that stuff go. I said, you got to let that stuff go right now. And he looked, man, he said, no, man, I ain't forgiving none of them, man. I can't stand none of them. That's what he used to say. And sure enough, man, hatred, unforgiveness, the hatred and unforgiveness, what that stuff does to you, man, you're not thinking. You see, what happens is, man, you get this hatred and unforgiveness in your bloodstream. You get the poison into your bloodstream. A lot of poison, man. You get the acid. Your body becomes acidic. And then you start, having irrational thoughts. So this man developed a form of a cancer in his stomach. He developed that. And I said, listen, let's get you back. Let's cure it. Oh, God. I said, let's get rid of some of this unforgiveness. I can't stand them. I said, but they're not the ones, man. I said, they're not the ones that's ill right now. It's you. I said, we can get you back. And I pleaded with this man. I pleaded with him, man. Every single day I saw him, man. I was just ministering to him. I was like, man, let's get you back. No, he wouldn't do it. And it wasn't even the disease that killed him, y'all. His own mind killed him. He killed himself. When you have a lot of hatred and unforgiveness, man, that stuff, it eats away at you, man. It eats away at you like a moth, man, to clothes. Hatred and unforgiveness. I'm telling you, man, is not the way to go. And the moment you realize that, see, I think some of y'all, you've been having so much hatred for so long. And I'm not talking about just people in general. I'm talking about just you in general as a person to person. Some of you've had so much hatred. Some of you still don't even talk to your parents. Some of you still don't even talk to your kids. Some of you ain't talked to your wife that you separated from. And I just called out somebody. I know I did. I know somebody got that issue. You ain't talked to your wife. You ain't talked to your son, your daughter. You ain't talked to your best friend because you have unforgiveness in your blood and you can't let it go. But I'm telling y'all, that unforgiveness will kill you. It'll cause a wedge between you and your family. It'll put a wedge in your house. And I'm telling y'all now, as this new year approaches, some of you got to get the unforgiveness out of your system. You got to forgive because, see, then when you have unforgiveness, when you have forgiveness, then there comes favor. Favor. That's right. You see, you start getting blessed. You start getting blessed and you don't even know why you're getting blessed, but you get blessed. You just sitting in your house and next thing you know, somebody just come up to you and give you some money. I done had that happen. I done had somebody literally walk up to me and hand me money. You seem like a nice guy. I don't know why I want to give you some money, but I'm just going to give it to you. I don't have people just walking in my gym and just write a check. Any kids you got, man, that need this here, you use it for them. I've had that happen. But when I was in unforgiveness, I didn't have that happen. When I was homeless, I didn't have that happen. See, I hated so much that my life was in turmoil. And I am speaking to somebody. I'm talking to a lot of you dudes. Sometimes your house is in disarray. Your job is in disarray. Okay, your kids, your son, your daughter, your mama, your daddy, everything's in disarray because you got a hatred that you can't let go. And I'm telling you now, as my name is Coach Shelton Harrison, if you don't let it go, if you don't, you are going to destroy the whole fabric of your life. And I'm telling you this right now. And I don't know why, but I know I'm speaking to somebody. You better let it go. You better let it go. And coach, what if the person already died? Well, you go to their grave and you release them. You let them go so you can move on. Now, I'm not saying, you let a whole bunch of crazy people in your circle that's done some foul stuff. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, these are forgivable things that you need to forgive because you're destroying your life. And your life is not going to be the life that you envision for you and yourself and your house and your kids. It's not. You see, when you forgive, you get favor. See, people will start recognizing that that's something different about you. They'll start recognizing that they'll believe that you're righteous. And see, then you'll have things, the job interviews that you go on, you'll start getting them. Because see, people can look at your countenance. They can look at you and tell that this person is righteous. They can look and tell. It doesn't even matter what you've done. But see, you got that unforgiveness, you got that sitting in your body, it's going to be hard for you to find a job. It's going to be hard for you to be productive at the job that you already have. If you're a husband or a wife, you're not going to be productive at home. You ain't going to even want to be at home. If you're a father, you're going to be so out of touch with your kids. I'm telling you now. You guys, you got to look for favor. But favor don't come till you have forgiveness. Favor. You can have favor. You got to speak it into the universe. Favor for my son. Favor for my daughter. Favor for my hard-headed wife. Favor for my hard-headed husband. Favor for my mama. Favor for my daddy. Favor for my granddaddy, my grandmama. Favor. And see, then you'll start to walk in that, man. I'm trying to tell y'all right now, dudes. I'm trying to tell a lot of y'all. You better watch your unforgiveness. There's people that sitting right there in your family right now. You got family in the hospital right now. And they sitting there and they got a hatred for another man or another woman. They got a hatred. Now, there's certain things I can say I can't stand somebody. But see, when you hate somebody, see, that takes it to a whole nother level. To dislike somebody, that's not hatred. To dislike them is not hatred. To hate them is hatred. Folks, do yourself a favor. Do your body a favor. You got to forgive. I don't care if it's somebody, man. If you ain't talked to them in 20 years, you need to forgive them and let it go. You need to let it go. It's time to let it go. And if it's somebody you can't talk to, I get it. If it's somebody you cannot talk to, you release them. You release them. You release them on a spiritual level. You release them and you don't even think about ill will coming toward them. You stop and you release these folks right now. Just let them go. And I'm talking to somebody. And if I'm talking to you, I want you to just say in your mind right now. Okay, you ain't going to look stupid. I don't care who around. You say in your mind right now that my name is, I'll start off. My name is Coach Shelton Harrison. Okay. And I just release people. You just say it. You say your name and then you say, I just release whoever. You release them, man. And then you take back your life. You take back your life from sickness. You take back your life from poverty. You take back your life from just ignorance. You take your life back from depression, despair, discouragement. You take your life back right now. This is your boy, Coach Shelton Harrison. What are you waiting on? Forgive. I'm done.